The worst thing about trauma is just on a random Wednesday morning making tea, you get flashbacks like you've experienced war. And all of a sudden, like, you feel like you can't breathe. And you feel like you want to cry and get upset. And you feel this knot in your chest. And then you're just so angry. I'm full of so much anger because of how much I want a family and how much I want my family. But I can't have them because they're fucked up. And even if I were to bring them back into my life, that would just be taking a step backwards, you know. Sorry, you guys. It's just one of those days. I think, going into the winter months has this profound effect on human bodies. Well, my human body, I don't know about your human body, but the winter brings out this melancholic, depressed person, or the side of me, this depressed side of me that normally in the summertime I can just go outside and forget about it. It's not even a second thought. But in the wintertime, like, no matter what I do, I could walk for miles. I could go outside and work all day. No matter what I do, it's like this melancholic, and it's been this way my entire life. I remember being 12, 13 years old, okay? Barely have gone through shit in my life. I mean, I had gone through shit, but it was not because of my choices. It was because of my mother's choices. So, like, I wasn't, right now, like, sorry guys, when I get this way, I get tongue-tied. Just be patient, please. Just let me get it out. It's so hard for me, especially in the mornings. I'm not myself until like noon, seriously. And that's like, I don't drink coffee. I'm not one of those people. It's just like something about going deep in my world. It makes me sad because my world used to be. It's like looking at a room full of shit and the shit is piled to the ceiling, right? And the only shit that you physically put there was the top little layer, right? And the rest of it was put there by somebody else. That's what, equate that to my emotions, and that's what it is. My family, I'm just going to tell you guys what the shit that they did to me when I was a kid, because I can't, like, for a long time, I was like thinking, that's their story. I don't want to, like, I always had these, I don't know, I was always more inclined to protect somebody than to shield myself. So when I was a kid, I've got 2 sisters and a brother. My brother molested me and my youngest sister. And I think my older sister, because I remember when they were because this happened when they were turning teenagers, and me and my little sister were little kids, okay? I remember my oldest sister giving me a note to give to my brother, right? And instead of giving it to him, I took it to the woods and I read it. Because I just felt the ickiness of the letter. And it was full of the most disgusting shit I've ever heard. Or at that point, ever seen. It was talking about how she was excited to sleep with him later on in the shower, okay? It was almost as if she was like writing her boyfriend. It was fucked. Which, okay. So, I try to distance myself. My mom is always gone, right? My mom, after my dad left her, or they split up, she was just always gone, okay? Like, she would put us in these places, and these are my earliest memories. I'm going back years before now. My earliest memories are of her leaving us and leaving me in charge of my little sister. When we were little fucking kids, like 4 and 5, right? We were 4 or 5. It was like maybe right as her and my dad split up, I don't know. It was about 4 or 5, mid-90s. I remember all of that. And then her being always gone resulted in my brother having full access to us as, humans. She would leave and she would leave him in charge. Because at this point, my sister was gone. My older sister was gone in a treatment center. I don't know. She was in Juneau or something. I don't know. So my brother was there in charge of us. Me and my little sister, which is how that happened. He molested us. My little sister told on him. We had to testify against him in court. As little fucking kids, we had to testify against him in court. And I remember that clearly. And then after that, we moved, me, my mom, and my sister, because it was just us 3 at that point. No, I think Emily was back at that point. So it was me and my sisters and my mom. We moved back to Anchorage, and then we moved back and forth. From Anchorage to Ketchikan, Alaska. Anchorage to Ketchikan. And her, in that time, meeting new men, fucking us up, allowing... allowing shit to happen to us. And then, I start to develop as around 12, I start to develop into a woman. My period comes on at that point. And she totally, at that point, now this could just be my own feelings, but her physical actions, her and my sisters would always gang up against me. All right. It was always, I was the problem kid. I was like the scapegoat of the situation. Okay. If there was ever an issue, it's because Jennifer caused it, or it's Jennifer's fault. Anytime there'd be issues, she would come in screaming, Jennifer, what the fuck did you do now? And it's like, why am I always the fucking target? Why me? It's because she hated me. She hated me because I looked just like her. I looked just like her, so therefore she compared herself to me. My own mother compared herself to her own child. And I can't get over that. I am over it, but deep down, I'm not, because I still have this feeling, this tight feeling when I think about her in my stomach, and I hate that. Now, she starts through my childhood. She is using my name to set up phone accounts. She's using my name to set up cable. She's using my name to set up anything she can set up. She's doing it in my name. And I'm a fucking little kid under 10. So she ruins my fucking shit, my credit. She gets bad credit because she does that until, her and my sisters started doing it also. They started to pretend like when they got caught or when they needed something or when they, they would pretend, they would pretend to be me. And so when I got out of treatment at 18 years old, I had to file fraud on them because they had ruined my credit so fucking, even using my name to go to the emergency room, right? Using my name to go to the emergency room to get pills because they're pill heads. I'm a pill head too. Hey, that's learned behavior, baby. And she taught it to me because anytime there was a problem, it was, here's a pill. It was never, let me give you a hug. It was, here's a pill. Okay, so, and then another thing she fucked us up on is, instead of teaching us to work and have work ethic and get a job and go to school and just, be a person, she taught us how to steal. She taught us how to be conniving, all these things that, like, inherently I knew were bad. And I don't do anymore. But, like, she continued to use my name and pretend to be me up until I was an adult, right? And then when I had kids, okay, because my older sister had kids years before I did, right? Years. And when I had kids and when I needed her to be there for me and help me, because I had 2 children under 2, and she watched them for one single night, and then she said, Jennifer, I'll never do this. Like, she screamed at me, I'll never fucking do this again, don't ever fucking ask me. So I called Mark, he got us plane tickets back, and I never looked back. And in between here and there, and here this time and there, back then, 15 years ago, 2010, I tried to, in every way you could tell a drug addict that you want them to be clean and you want them to be in their right mind so we can have a great relationship. She did not. See, the problem is you cannot love people who do not love themselves, because they will hate you for loving them. They will hate you for being able to love the person that they themselves can't even love. And so they end up comparing. It becomes like this comparison game where you're trying to be like, but I love you and I want this relationship, and this other person is just like drowning everything they feel with their drug of choice. They're drowning it out with everything. And these behaviors don't have to just include drugs, okay? These behaviors can be working, they can be gambling, they can be any number of behaviors. If a person is fucking grinding their wheels into the dirt, like just so insistent and just so always focused on that thing instead of their life, like they don't love themselves and they're running from themselves. They're trying everything in their power to not be alone with themselves, to not be faced with their own reflection. And so I became the person who just put up everybody else. I just became a mirror. I just became a mirror for those type of people. Look, I'm not going to give you any of me. That's how you betray yourself. And that's how you end up in a space where you hate yourself and you don't know how to get away from that. When you let that happen, when you start trying to love somebody more than they love themselves, they're like a black hole at that point. Do you understand? They're like a physical black hole. They will just take and take and take and take and take and take and take. And there's never no end to how much they will take. All right? There's no end to how low they'll make you feel. And there's no end to their seemingly, they seemingly have no emotion about it. Like, you have to let those people go. You have to cut. And like, if you want to love yourself, you have to stop interacting with people who make you feel like there's a problem with you. You understand? And I had to do that. I had to. As much as it hurts, I don't feel bad for sticking to my guns and, saying, no, you do not get access to me or my life. The most you can get, the most access you're gonna get is being able to watch me on social media. You will not be able to comment about me. We will not interact at all. There will be zero interactions. Okay?